Guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So I just wanted to go over the full details of part 2 of the Topo campaign, the Ginyu Force, kind of like part 2 we got going on right here. Now, I do want to just start by saying I have no idea I just don't know how this is going to apply to Global Dokkan. Easily, like, they could just drop the Legendary Frieza event either with Dokkan Fest Frieza when he drops in June, very likely for Global, or they could just drop it directly with Topo. But, like, they cut up a little bit of this celebration and are dropping stuff already on Global Dokkan. So, again, I can't give exact answers, but I am still maintaining that I think some stuff is not going to be out yet by the time the sync happens. But I am fairly confident in saying that, you know, once the page turns to 2025, I think everything will be caught up. And I think everything from that point, like the true, I think 2024 is just going to be a very weird year, especially for Global. But like by the end of the year, I think everything will be on both versions. We're going to be fully synced, and it's going to be like Legends, where it's just everyone is enjoying the same game, which is going to be a lot better. So let's look at part 2. They kind of did a weird thing with this campaign info here, in that they didn't like just put all the new stuff at the top. They kind of like interchanged it all over. It's very odd, but whatever. So there's a lot of new stuff that they did here. For a part 2, considering that, you know, I mean, guys, the data download for the Golden Week Dual Dokkan Fest is probably on like the 23rd or something like that. Like, it's not like we're that far away. So, you know, like this, we're going to be very close moving into the next celebration. Remember that this is, you know, a very small period right here. They actually did more than I would have expected. And that's, I think, one of the major reasons they're able to do more stuff at points is the real emphasis Dokkan has taken to mission-related content, which I think is a good idea, you know, for a lot of these different stages. All right, so we have the typical, like, missions, login stuff. These were the EX missions in the 9th anniversary battle event against Evolution Blue Vegeta. Actually, like, a video like this is easier because I do make sure to record all content. It was... Damn, it's been this long? Bro, time moves so fast. This right here. Missions against this Evolution Blue Vegeta made sense since it was a Topo celebration, right? Did make a ton of sense right there. So there is that. Yeah, damn, I was still playing Crisis Core when I was recording this Rudiger and stuff. Okay. So there's that right there. So we have new story missions and stuff like that. These are mostly just, you know, do new story. They did kind of do a full kind of like quest mode, like revamp. I'm just showing, of the new stages they added, this is the major one right here. I think for a lot of players, this stage right here, this is 34-4. I think for a lot of players, this is going to be the go-to link level stage. I think you have two trains of thoughts. The better one, 31-4, is faster, so I think it's better for, like, if you're link leveling for power level, like I do, 31-4 will be a little bit better because it's a little bit faster, and you get green and blue incredible gems. This stage, though, for a free-to-play player or someone who's just looking to burn your stamina, this stage is far more stamina efficient. This stage also has a direct higher link level rate than 31-4 does. Now, a lot of people really enjoyed... Oh, damn, it was 33-2. I always forget. 33-2, I believe. It's a stage where you fight cooler. The structure of it is exactly the same as this, but it had a lower link level rate as well. It was the same link level rate as 31-4. This stage has a higher rate. Now, if you do bulk link leveling like I do, eventually that's going to make a difference, right? But, I mean, it's back and forth. I still like 31-4 because you get blue and green incredible gems, but this stage drops blue incredible gems, and it is better to grind blue gems as opposed to green gems, because if you grind blue gems, you could one-to-one trade for green incredible gems. Like, just infinite as much as you want. So, grinding green incredible gems really is pointless. All you have to do is grind blue gems, and then, you know, you'll have enough to buy the new stuff. They every new quest mode stage that comes out, they do add blue, like Elder Kai, Zenny, and stuff like that to the shop. But then what they do as well is they don't really do anything with green incredible gems. So it is more of just a priority to grind up blue incredible gems. So the fact that this stage drops blue as opposed to green really is a good thing also. So there's that. Plus, there's also kind of like the big revamp right here where just the whole look and structure of it is a lot different, right? Where they've kind of got these movies. It's just the presentation looks a little bit better, which is good. Really, I do think at some point Dokkan should consider. And as far like Ryuden is a little bit better with some of the like back end stuff, like understanding it way more than a dumb ass like I do, right? But like I have heard talk of like if they just took Dokkan down for a little bit of time, they could improve the game drastically. If they just took it down for a little bit of time, worked on some back end stuff, the game would significantly improve. I would definitely be on board with that, in favor of that. You know, I don't know exactly how long to take down, but I think that's something Dokkan should consider, because they making this game in 2015, they did not anticipate that it'd still be going on like this, and it's still such a bestseller. The second best-selling celebration in Dokkan history was the 9th anniversary, which, by the way, doesn't even include global NJ. Like, right? Like, it's like, I think by the end of the year, like, if you combine global NJP, 9th anniversary is going to be the highest selling celebration of all time. And it's literally the most recent big celebration. So there's no, like, Dokkan is not going anywhere anytime soon. So I do like a lot of improvements like this, and making the game more accessible, more better for new players, I think should be a strong focus. I mean, you know, longtime players like a lot of us, or a lot of people watch my videos, you know, sure, we can't take advantage of some of these updates as much as newer players, but I mean, you know, the game will die if they're not bringing in new players eventually. So, I mean, that should be a focus as well for Dokkan. So there's that. The legend has arrived, LR GINYU. Now, I would say this. I feel like I am falling a little out of favor of this character. I don't think they're quite good enough for how heavily restricted they are. The thing is it's basically just you have to run a full special pose team. The good news is that they significantly increase the viability of the special pose team, right? So it is, like, you could easily run it in every fight and win every fight. But I don't think that this character is quite good enough for such a tough restriction. I think that they actually should be a little bit better. Their effect is crazy. I mean, having a character like this spread across a lot of different category teams, like if we had one of these for like Hybrid Saiyans, if we had one of these for, you know, I don't know, Buu Saga, we had one of these for Terrifying Conqueror, you know, that would be really good for the game. But I do wish this character was a little bit better. Like, if you're a free-to-play player, like, there's no reason in the world why you'd ever go for this character, ever. Never. Because it's only Topo's team. And the other thing, too, is, again, I think that this character should have been better. The best version of Topo's team does not include this character. Because you can run Int LR Evolution Blue Vegeta, who to me is the obvious second best unit in the game, very clearly. He is very busted. And then UI Goku is right behind Vegeta. I think he's easily the third best character in the game. Like, I feel like their positions are very ironed out. And unless people has, like, an agenda to push, it's very obvious that they're kind of, like, in that range. Maybe you could toy around with UI Goku at, like, 4. Or, you know, maybe Carnival Gogeta. I guess you could probably really stretch things out and say the Gammas. But I think UI is a little bit safer than the Gammas in a lot of situations. This character is not enough. You have to run full special pose. He's not enough to make up for the fact that, you know, you can't run those two. That's a better version of Topo's team. So I do think that this character should have been better. They should have been a lot better. I don't understand why they did this. This character would be significantly stronger if you could get like 2 of these at the start of the fight, these 50% defensive stacks. This character will be significantly better, but like I'm not finding it very feasible to get the 15 key super. It's not easy. Like if you're running a good team, a good special pose team build. So I don't know, like they're very good. Like I'm not saying that they're bad or anything like that, but they don't feel good enough to me. But I mean, then again, this is a yellow coin LR. Yellow coin LRs are very hit and miss. I mean, to be fair, Dokkan Fest TURs have been as well, but Dokkan Fest TURs, I feel like I'm really, I'm like a tyrant when it comes to grading them, right? Dokkan Festival, a bunch of this stuff is not new, obviously, from part 1. See, like, this is already on Global, for example. The EZA Gotenks, this is all stuff from the start of the month. This is, you know, BGM missions. This was for the Harudagarn event right here. Oh, is that? No, that's, yeah, here it is right here. There's missions. I think it's for Movie Hero to beat Harudagarn. So there's that. Okay. So we have the Ginyu Force Special Sentai Training Campaign. So this is really good. This is not something that's super great for, like, you know, me directly or a longtime player, but this is good for a new player. With the Frieza celebration in March, and this is why I think they could grab some of this Ginyu Force stuff, and I mean, they really could tie it to Frieza and make that celebration feel much more whole. But they revamped all these Bardock missions and stuff like that. I did cover that as well. I could probably scroll to it. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't take too long. Yeah, right here. They did a lot of stuff, like they revamped the EZAs for the Team Bardock and gave them their EZA. We were finally able to rainbow them. Like they consolidated the events. Here, let's actually pull the video up. But they consolidated the events, making it a lot easier to kind of like do the stages and obtain these free characters. It like the structure of these is very simple. Now they did this for the Team Bardock squad and the Ginyu Force squad, but now they went ahead and they revamped, I think, the EZA area too, to just make it very easy for players to just start the game. The first priority is to grind up the Team Bardock and the Team Ginyu Force. These guys will clear easily all content in the game up to the 7th anniversary level stuff without question, right? And it's like, as a new player, it would be so easy to grind up so many, like when I started, it was not easy to get a lot of those early events done. Now, you know, with these, the ease it is to get these teams and get these characters easy and stuff like that, you could demolish a lot of the earlier stuff. So the Ginyu Ize area has been renewed. New mission for... Oh, that's what the mission is. There's one Legendary Goku event mission, I see. It's Ginyu Force against Legendary Goku event. Now, we're going to talk about the Legendary Frieza event. The funny thing is, I feel like I actually don't really mind the Legendary Frieza event. I'll give my thoughts on it in a second here. But, you know, Ginyu Force, to me, I feel like don't really hit the mark. But I think that the Frieza event is what they intended for. And I think it's to serve the same function that this event does, which we've seen missions added to this and the Legendary Vegeta event pretty often over the last year and a half or something like that. And I think the Frieza event's going to be a similar thing. I don't think that they, like, I know players want, like, oh my god, it should have been longer, harder. Like, I looked at the replies to tweets. Even Japanese players were saying that the Legendary Frieza event should have been harder. But they gave us so much hard content during the 9th anniversary that I don't have a problem with them dropping. This event is more like mid-level. I don't think there's an issue with that. I don't. Like, they, you know, just dropping 50 Cell Max fights throughout the year. Like, it's not... Like, but at the same time, I'm always pushing back. People want harder and harder fights, and I go, whoa, hey, kids, let's pump the brakes. I mean, yeah, I'm Mr. Whale, I rainbow everything. Like, I'll be fine, but a lot of other people will not. Like, I don't think it's smart to do these monster power creeps all the time and push the limits harder and harder fights. Like, it's not always a good idea to do. Right, this is a gacha game. Like, you know, you can get shafted out of pulling new characters, and if you're really stupid with how you summon, you might not get good characters ever either. Right, another big thing to consider. This has already been a thing though. This right here, this happened. You know, this is what I pulled up this video for right there. Okay, we can close this, and oh, that's it. So it's just the revamp for the Ize area. Oh, there are some Ginyu Force missions. I'm going to probably do a video doing the missions and then probably like looking at the Ize area, a separate video. So let's see what these missions are. So clear stage 6 of that Ginyu, that's the revamped event. Clear 10 times. I think these are with just the free Ginyu Force characters. Ize them. Get all their essay levels to 15. Do the Legendary Goku event Ginyu Force mission. Clear stage 25 of Super Battle Road. What is stage 25? Is it must be Ginyu Force, right? Clear the stage and clear the EX, or Extreme Super Battle Road stage, and then get all the missions done. Yeah, okay, pretty easy stuff. Again, they had a Team Bardock version of this in March, and then now they're doing the Ginyu Force version. I really, I'm a fool. I should have foreseen that they were going to do this, and that like an LR, like, LR Ginyu in hindsight was so obvious as the part 2 LR, considering this was sitting here and they did all the Bardock stuff, but they only half did the get. Like, it was so obvious these guys were coming. And I mean, when you look at just the strength of this celebration, Topo is crazy. Catapestle is okay. But then these sub EZAs, a lot of them are really good. Super EZA Gotenks is really good. He comes out in about 24 hours. Like, you know, it's obvious that they built up the special pose team for this LR. It's pretty clear to me. All right, so we looked at that. We can go ahead and get rid of the missions there. We can get rid of that EZA area right there. Okay, so we have that. We have Super EZA Gotenks is coming. Again, he comes out in 24 hours. I'll save extended thoughts until after I use him a bunch. Seems pretty good. If you're expecting Super EZA characters to be way above what like Gotenks and HL Super Saiyan 3 Goku are, you're expecting too much. Your expectations are not aligned with like the reality of the game we're playing. No matter what anyone wants to think, it is a gacha game, right? Like, they don't want this Gotenks to be undisputed top 5 who sweeps the entire game. He could still easily sweep the entire game, but there's going to be limitations. I mean, they want you to summon for the new effing characters, man. Like, they want you to have to summon. So, the fact that this guy is as good as he is as a character, we're looking at the, yeah, like his Dokkan Fest, this is when he came out. And this guy's really good. Like, and this is his release date, man. Like, someone could have stopped playing in like 2018 and come back recently, and they might have this guy and he's going to be a top level character. Like, think about stuff like that. Like, he's very good. So there's that. This stuff was last week. We had the Legendary Freeze event. I guess I did give some of my thoughts on it. The Freeze event, there are some missions right here. They didn't include tickets for the ticket banner. I think that's something they should have done, really. Even though, you know, it's probably wouldn't be the greatest. I mean, if we're going to make the argument that this is like a mid-level event, maybe, you know, geared more towards like newer, fresher players and stuff like that, I think that the tickets are a really good thing for that. So maybe they should have, rather than the equips, because if we look at the stats of this Frieza, I mean, he is a 2021 boss. There's no doubt about that. This Frieza right here, I'm going to need more experience with him, but this guy seems very powerful, this Frieza. This attack and defense skyrocket, he hits pretty hard, it seems like. But, like, Golden Frieza, like, maybe I'm crazy, but the Legendary Vegeta event, Evolution Blue Vegeta, is harder than this guy. You could dodge this guy. Like, that's a joke. Evolution Blue Vegeta was a monster. Even during the 7th anniversary, he was still a significant threat, that Vegeta, because he would nuke your defense, you couldn't dodge, and again, that 80% defensive debuff he applied is crazy. This Frieza, you could dodge him and shit? Like, this guy's a joke. Like, he's nothing. So I think adding tickets to this is something they definitely should have done, rather than equips, which is more of a thing, I think, for, you know, higher level players are looking for equips. So they kind of, you know, there's good and bad here. Again, I don't super hate this, though. I think the point of this is they introduce us into the game, and we're going to see a lot of missions added to this over the next couple of years. That's my guess. I would not be shocked if we get a Legendary Gohan event, Legendary Cell event, and a similar thing happens. Missions repeatedly added to it, because that's the structure of how they're doing content, which is good, right? Because it could allow you, like, if we have to use, you know, special pose or something for some of these missions, you're going to be using some different characters, have to grind up different things. I think it's good, but yeah, there's my thoughts on that. Dragon Ball Story was from Pro 4. Oh, there's a burst mode tomorrow, right? Against Ultimate Gohan. I don't know this. I don't think this is a teaser towards anything, a hint towards Golden Week. I don't think so, but maybe. In the past, categories you wanted to use have seemed like hints to stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. Could Buu Saga be Golden Week? I think it's possible. We haven't seen a lot of Buu Saga or Namek Saga stuff in quite a while. Even, like, Cell games stuff, we've not. A lot of Dragon Ball Z hasn't been done in quite a while. So, I think any of those, I would probably guess it'll be a Dragon Ball Z. Although, they're definitely pushing super bosses throughout this year. So, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. The new adventure, we talked about that, the Quest 1 stuff. these are just like returning events. Yeah, just returning events, returning easy areas, events, all this different kind of stuff. And then that basically covers everything. I think that there's a fair amount of stuff here, considering this is just a part 2 to what is typically not a huge celebration, considering we have a dual Dokkan Fest celebration coming next week, so not really too bad. Let me know what you guys think about Ginyu, the Legendary Frieza event. Again, I think maybe I'm feeling differently about it, but I'm looking more negatively at these guys, and I'm more neutral or positive towards the Frieza event, which I think is probably different from most people. But not every fight needs to be Blue Gogeta Supreme Battle Spectacle level. That's toxic for the game. It's not a good thing. But because they gave us Cell Max, the Supreme Battle Spectacle, which has 5 or 6 really tough, differently designed, different gimmick stages. Supreme Battle Spectacle is really good. We have the Cell Max fight. We have the Red Zone movie boss rush, which we wanted our long fight. We got it, right? Like, routinely, you get to Broly at the end, and you're on turn 15 and shit. Even with high-level superhero teams, you could be on turn 10 plus against Broly. So, like, they did, I think, to me, satisfy the need. And I didn't even talk about Dragon Ball Super Movie Memorial, which is I need to get some showcase fights in against that Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo fight, which is really tough. So it's like, I do think that they've done a good job, and I don't mind the Frieza event because it's at a lower level than the 50 events we got during 9th anniversary. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch y'all next time.